Y'all ever play Pikmin before? It's pretty good. I've been thinking about it these days because, you know, Pikmin 4 is coming out and I'm feeling my old age. You know, I'm thinking like, ooh, back in my day, Pikmin used to be this, Pikmin used to be that. Pikmin used to be peak. And you know, I don't like these newer games, so we're gonna like return to the glory days. That was a long in-between from like, can we see that again? Like the game takes a minute to like make this menu show up. Is that some emulator shit? Because we're playing on emulator? Not the Nintendo Switch version that changes the logos or whatever? Like, isn't that like foolish? I hope you know what I'm talking about, because, you know, a lot of my tangents, I'm just gonna, you know, go off on my knowledge, and if you know, you know. But, like, yeah, the Nintendo Switch version, like, they're trying to, like, ubiquitize, or, like, what's the fucking word? Like, they're trying to, like, bring unity to the franchise of Pikmin, make it easily consumable and recognizable. They're changing the logos these days. It's like a simplistic gradient thing. Everyone knows this, right? Like, everyone's complaining about this. Not a single person on Earth, like, in the world, in the universe, in the future, like, no one's gonna, like, look at the new logo and say it looks better. Like, everyone's like, yeah, the flowers, they look more distinct. I don't know what the fuck they were fucking thinking. Maybe it's a scary thing, because, like, in some ways, like, I can sort of understand what they're doing. Like, these flowers, right? This is too complex. A gradient with just the text is far easier to understand even, right? Which sounds ridiculous, but, like, that's totally what they're doing, right? They want more people to play Pikmin, so, like everything has to be easily digestible. It's a scary, slippery slope, and it looks like that's the direction they're taking. My favorite game, Pikmin 4 is not even out yet as I'm speaking, but, like, you know, just looking at it, I don't think it would be a game for me. It looks like a game for the people who liked Pikmin 2. I hate Pikmin 2. That game is like... Is it really like... Yeah, shit, this takes a minute to load. I assume it's loading. Maybe it's just building up dramatic tension. Yeah, this game has a long-ass opening, even though it's all about, like, score attacking and, like, replaying it, like, over and over again to get better at it. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they don't, like, let you skip the opening. It's kind of crazy. Game developers are so stupid, you know? They have, like, their developer intent, and then they just fucking fumble it with shit like this. Like, what were they fucking thinking? They weren't. It's like they were making a game under, like, the pressure of, like, having to release it under, like, a set date, all these expectations and shit, and, you know, sometimes things slip by for the greater priority of just fucking finishing it. Crazy, right? What was I saying? Yeah, like, I love Pikmin, so I say, but, like, I don't like any of the games except, like, the first one. So, like, no, I like Pikmin 1. Not any of these other games. That wasn't even that long of an opening. I guess it's supposed to, like, hype you up for the replay, but, like, actually no, because, like, you have to do this first day here. Yeah, the writing of Pikmin. It's this really, you know, Nintendo way of, like, delivering information. You know, like, they tutorialize quite beautifully in Pikmin through, like, you know, we've got the flavor text with, like, the colored letters and shit, but, like, it's made interesting because, like, you know, Olimar here will tell me about the A button, and I'll believe he's actually talking about a thing. It's some good stuff. Hold on, I don't think I've fiddled with my controls in a hot minute, so, like... Yeah, this is weird anyway. The game forces you in this really zoomed in... Whoa. Oh, yeah, huh. I still have the enemy randomizer on, don't I? That'll be interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. Okay. Oh, well. It'll be more fun this way, because, you know, Pikmin's a brilliant game, but, like, once you kind of master it, it's kind of like... You know, that's kind of the end of the conversation. Like, you can keep coming back to it and be like, yup, it's brilliant. I guess you do that with a lot of games, but, you know, it's nice to be like, there to be like an element of spontaneity. A strange thing has appeared before him. Yeah, like, look at all this text. Like, no kid is going to read this, but, like, if you do read it, it's not a complete waste of your time, because it's, like, actually written from the perspective of, like, you know, a character, and it's, like, fun to read if you bother. This is dangerous. Like, what happens if you get a Pikmin extinction on day 0? Does the game just fucking destroy itself? Oh, I hate these things with their chapped-ass lips. Yeah, now you can zoom the game. Enemies in Pikmin fucking scare the shit out of me, because they're just, like, animals. That's kind of like a thing that, like, I always really came to appreciate about Pikmin, even as a kid. Didn't know how to articulate it, but I really liked how it was just like, you know, it's alien and shit, but there's something really real about it. Like, there's nothing cute about this red Pikmin I'm looking at right now. It's kind of fucking weird. And, like, all the enemies are like that. They're just, like, animals out to eat and survive. And it gives me the heebie-jeebies. This is a lot to deal with, like... Or, it's not a lot to deal with, you know, these enemies, they're not even, like, fucking enemies. Okay, this is my one child. I can't, like, let this guy, bite the dust. Yeah, the commentary is gonna turn into not me, like, ruminating about Pikmin, but it's gonna turn into boring gamer talk real soon. Holy... Yeah, sorry, I guess we're just... What? Yeah, what does this Pikmin think of me? I must press the A button to interact with the game. Yeah, way to go, little buddy. What did Chugga Conroy name his, like, favorite Pikmin? Wasn't that, like, a running joke or something in that, like, 20-year-old Let's Play? I'm pretty old, but with age comes wisdom. I am so smart, dude. Yeah, so, yeah, Pikmin is a fascinating game. It's not like most other Nintendo games, which is probably why it didn't, like, catch on, like, you know, every other Nintendo game, because, like... not just because it's like a weird RTS thing, and you know, Nintendo gamers in general, maybe like a platformer jumping game, you know, there's more jumping games in a... Hold on. Hold on. It's just scary, like, I'm getting scared and like, I'm losing my train of thought, because this fucking fish guy is like, trying to eat my guys. We're gonna have to take care of this, otherwise I will never get to play the game. We're playing the game right now, but like, you know, I hate saying that. It's like playing like fucking Overwatch and like you're getting countered by a character who's stunning you and it's like, oh, they're not letting me play the game. But it's like, you are playing the game. You are just like, you know, you are getting messed up by game mechanics. Maybe you shouldn't have gotten yourself in those kind of situations. That is gameplay though. Anyway, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, Pikmin. It's not like Super Mario or Zelda, because, you know, you can die in The Legend of Zelda, but you just get back up, and you know, it's game over, and it just, things reset to a neutral state, and you just try again, and you can just keep trying, and it doesn't really matter how many times you fail, because there's, like, no definite fail state that will prevent you from, continuing to play the game. Pikmin, yeah, I find it rather tedious to pluck them, so you can just fucking mash the button, yeah, it's good game feel. That better have been like an immediate... that, you know, that's a fun thing to think about, right? Like, I wonder if in early development that was like a thing they thought of later, or like immediately. The fact that, you know, pulling these things individually, like walking up... I'm just imagining a shittier version of Pikmin where you just have to like manually walk your ass to every guy you want to pluck, and it would just be like a nightmare. You know, not a nightmare as in like an actual scary nightmare, but like, you know, it wouldn't be fun. I keep getting distracted, but that's just what's gonna happen, because there's a lot going on, even though there's not a lot going on. It's, you know, Pikmin's a very beautiful game. It is so simple when you get right down to it. You just, like, throw your guys at things, and they bring it back, and it's like, you know, people, like, make beautiful little, like ant homes and stuff, right? It's probably that kind of satisfaction. Didn't this game come from, like, Miyamoto? He was into gardening or something for, like, a week? So he was like, I want to make a game about the things I'm thinking about currently. I can relate to that. I'm recording the game because I want to talk about the things I'm thinking about lately. Isn't that awesome how they just call it the dolphin? You know? Oh, wait, I don't want to bring it back immediately. We want to get guys because, you know, it's day one. Is fucking, like, Beady Longlegs gonna, like, fall down and fucking kill me? No. I guess that's a fun thing. Okay, hold on, we gotta stop tangenting. Okay, so Pikmin. The build-up is over. I'm just gonna tell you, Pikmin's not like Super Mario because there's a fail state. The game has the famous 30-day time limit, or day limit. You know, you have 30 in-game days to beat the game. And if you don't meet those requirements, if you, like, keep failing, like, getting the tiny loses, like, you keep letting your guys die, and you have to spend time, like, making more guys, and you do not finish the game, you lose. and it's game over. Like, the game is actually over, and you have to start over. Like, and, I love those kind of games. You know? There's, like, a new kind of, like, engagement with that kind of relationship when you know there's, like, actual consequences, and, you have to meet expectations. It's a scary pressure, to be sure, because, you know, in the real world, expectations are scary, so I guess in an insidious level, like, a subconscious level, I get why people are, like, not as immediately willing to play a game like Pikmin, because, you know, I'm gonna call them stupid, because I'm just so smart, right? Yeah, no, like, the enlightened viewpoint is to be like, you know, there's more reasons to care, and therefore more engagement and more fun in a situation like, you know, the gameplay Pikmin's asking of you. The time limit isn't present right now. We're on day 1. There's fucking nothing going on right now. But, like... Shit, I lost my train of thought. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Like, people inherently don't like conflict. Or maybe they do. Some people like arguing. But, you know, like, I guess, like, generally, you can say people like to avoid it, which is why you might look at a game like Pikmin if you're simple and haven't played enough games to, like, appreciate flavors of challenge that are different from every other game out there. You might look at it and go like, oh, I deal with stress in the real world. Why would I want to do that in a video game? I want to be safe in this environment. Where'd my guys go? There they are. But yeah, obviously the takeaway is that having a bunch of different flavors of challenge in the world make the world a better place. There should be more games like Pikmin, but a lot of games, you know, they're afraid of missable content. They're afraid of, you know, the players failing and, like, losing interest. You know, all reasonable things to assume. But, you know, Pikmin's pretty smart about that. It is a short game. There's, like, 3 levels. And the point is to, like, master them in the allotted time you're given. And if you fail, you just take your knowledge from your last playthrough and you try again. It's not going to take all day. Obviously, the silver bullet to counter that is this opening stage. Because it's like, oh... You have to do the opening every time. How disincentivizing, you know? Very true. Pikmin's like a 20-year-old game, though. These are obvious things that, you know, if they made the game today, with, like, the knowledge of the future, how to make these games better, I'm pretty sure this wouldn't be an issue. Like, this would not happen in the game. I was playing, like, Clock Tower. I wasn't really playing Clock Tower. I downloaded some PC port just to, like, be like, there's a PC port of Clock Tower, interesting. I'm not gonna play it, because, you know, that game is, like, really slow. You know, you move so slow, so fucking slow. I'm not gonna talk about Clock Tower. But the fucking Clock Tower, it is a game where, like, you can, you know, you die, and, like, it's game over, and you have to try again. The game lets you skip the opening. Like, on the main menu, there's, like, new game, and then there's quick start, which lets you, you know, skip to the, you know, the point of game, the gameplay, where, like, it is time to make decisions and play the game, you know? Like, you know, where we skipped the preamble of, like, openings and tutorials and formalities, and we're just allowed to get in there. Games like Pikmin need shit like that. Or I guess they don't, because, you know, this opening's not that bad, but I'm saying in a perfect world, you know that's ideal, right? Yes. We should have a skip opener button, but we don't. It is what it is. Thankfully, Pikmin's not some, like, awful JRPG. I don't know why I said JRPG, but you can just imagine, like, if the opening to Pikmin took, like, an hour. I think, like, Persona 4... No hate to Persona 4, but it's, like, an example that comes to my head. That game has, like, preamble stuff that lasts probably, like, an hour or so, maybe more than that. You know, until the moment where you're allowed to, like, go into the first dungeon at your own discretion, make demons and shit, like, plan your schedule, it probably takes a while, and if Persona 4 was just, like, a video game about playing arcade video game shit like Pikmin is, you know, you'd want there to be a skip opening button. But I guess with a game like Persona, the excuse is that it's an RPG, and you're there for the story, like, just as much as the gameplay. Whatever, fine, I guess we don't need a skip opening button. We probably might as well have, though, right? Because, you know, we spend a lot of time playing that game and just, like, making decisions and shit. Like, there's really no reason not to, but, like, I get it. I'll give you this out. Anyway, that was day 1 of Pikmin. I think it would have been more romantic if they called it day 0, and then from then on you had, I don't know, like, I guess 30, you could have had 31 days to beat the game, because, like, you know, this is day 1, nothing really happens on day 1, it's just like we meet the Pikmin and, you know, we learn how to play the game. I guess that's worthy of day 1, but, like, that having that 1 be in the top right, if I made Pikmin, it would be day 0, because, like, I would mark day 1 as, like, when the player is in true control and responsibility is on them. You know, from that moment on, it's game time. But I get what they're going for. There's 30 parts, they want 30 days exactly. Yeah, yeah. Isn't it cool how you can skip all the text by just hitting the B button? A shittier game wouldn't let you do that. I don't know if you've played Pokemon Stadium, but the composer for this game is the same. I don't know if it's the same guy who does the sounds by extension, but, like, yeah, this game sounds, like, so very Pokemon Stadium. It's awesome. I always liked this menu because it didn't feel totally static. What do I mean by that? You know, it's a flat, unmoving background, but, like, you can hit right to move your ship, and you could cancel it. So you could just, like, fidget around, and he moves in a random direction, you know, when he's flying towards the next area. It's this really minor thing, but it, like, aids the game feel. It just makes the menu feel fun and interactive, and that's really what video games are all about, baby. Anyway, who's gonna spawn? You know, I'm always expecting there to just be deadly enemies in, like, the opening areas, you know, the home base, because, like, that's just how this randomizer is going to play out, right? Yeah, I really like the Pikmin randomizer, because, like I think I totally already talked about this. Like, you know, Pikmin's a simple game. Jesus. I take what, like, layers I'm allowed to, like, sprinkle on top to a new playthrough that I can get. Because, pretty simple ultimately. There's a tangent I want to, like, go into, but I don't really know how to, like, don't drink that. They drink that. Of course they did. I knew they would. Oh wow, it's that guy. Yeah, I love this guy. I really like his, like, AI of just, like, what's he gonna do if he can't get in there? He's just gonna run in circles. Yeah, so this is the famous Smoky Prog. It is, like, the only enemy in the game that, like, deliberately goes to your base just to, like, be a nuisance. And I find that, like, really interesting. Because, like, I look at this guy, and I wanted Pikmin games to iterate on ideas like this. Where there was, like, some kind of hazard you had to, like, be extra mindful of and, like, factor it into your decision making. Like, oh, I can't return to the base right now. That guy's there. And, you know, there's just, like, more layers of micromanaging you have to do, right? Because, you know, just, like, the more decisions we're, like, making here, the more fun it's gonna be. Obviously, this isn't perfect, because we're playing, like, a roughly put-together fucking randomizer. It's not, like, the intended gameplay experience made by professionals. But I'm saying, like, in a perfect world, wouldn't it be sick if, like, shit like this was in the game for realsies? Like, I'm thinking of, like, some kind of shit where, like, you'd look at the world map, and, like, going into the level, it would tell you, like, the Smoky Prog is in this level today. And you'd have to think, like, do I want to go there? Or do I want to go somewhere else first? Because, like, I know the Smoky Prog is there, and maybe I should decision make a little more, you know? I just like being able to think about video games. Surely you can understand. So, like, for example, the Smoky Prog is, you know, in my base. It's not really ideal. So, what am I going to prioritize with my time today if I can't really interact with my base as much? Maybe, like, farming up yellow Pikmin. Maybe I'll bring pieces close to the base, but I won't actually, like, you know, bring them in. You know, we're thinking and shit, motherfucker. I think it's cool to think about video games. Because it's like, yeah, another thing, me making fun of normies because I'm just so fucking smart. Yeah, the thing about Pikmin is that, like, it's fun not in like an immediate sense something like Super Mario Brothers is. Because like, you look at my gameplay, and what am I doing? I am walking back and forth down the same routes. You know, I'm not doing any like crazy platforming and shit. This looks fucking boring. But the game is happening in your mind. Like, I am thinking about the moves I want to make. I see the resources I've been given, and I've like locked into my decisions. And you know, it's satisfying seeing them play out. Like, okay, yep, that was my goal, we achieved it. I dedicated the time to fucking opening that gate there. You know? It's a nuanced kind of fun. You know, Super Mario would never. We're not playing Super Mario here. Ooh, there goes the first Pikmin death. Better reset the game, right? Well, no, another brilliant thing about Pikmin is that, you know, the game is so, like, stressful, but, like, at the same time, not really. Because, like, Pikmin are, you know, easy come, easy go. I can get more of these guys pretty quickly. You know? It's a stressful game, but it's like the perfect amount of stress. Or maybe not perfect, you know, we could do more interesting than Pikmin, like, as I've, you know, already kind of ruminated. But, like, you get where I'm going, right? It's brilliant, you know, and especially for a kid, you know, it's the perfect level of stress, you know? Like, oh no, my Pikmin died. I'll literally just spend, like, a minute planting more. It's not a big deal. But, like, it feels like enough of a big deal for you to care. And that's cool. This is the most annoying enemy in the game. Yeah, go over the wall. He's not gonna go over the wall. Yeah, Pikmin's kind of fucking crazy. You kind of just kill creatures. Like, we're all just fighting to survive, and, like, these guys are, you know, trying to eat us right now. It's pretty raw. Like, things are dying right now. Super Mario would never. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And yeah, I've abandoned those Pikmin over there because we made the decision, and I'm, like, you know, following through on my decision. Like, okay, those guys are distracted. Let's spend the valuable time doing something else. Because I can't, like, care about every spilled glass of milk, or we'll never get anything done. And look at how much time we have. It's not even halfway yet, and I've dilly-dallied so much. What a forgiving game. And there's like 30 days of this shit. Now we'll finally get the yellow Pikmin. Another disgusting little creature. I'm not gonna say that they've yossified the Pikmin and made them cuter and more marketable, but I'm gonna say that they've walked in that direction. You know, definitely more as these games have gone by. You know, there's all these Pikmin shorts about them doing cute things, you know, being adorable. You know, that's fine. And I can't get that guy. He's out of range. I guess, you know, he's just fucking dead. It's not really the fault of the game because, like, this level was presumably made under the assumption there wouldn't be those fucking blow guys in here. So, like, you know, they just made the area over there big enough. They didn't account for that, because, like, why would they? There's no blow guys in there. They didn't make the game for me, the randomizer player. They made it for, like, little Jimmy playing his Nintendo GameCube. Because he bought one of those instead of a PlayStation 2. Crazy, right? Damn, we've accomplished, like, I'm not going to say nothing, but, like, we could be doing so much more right now. We need to try harder. But that would require me, like, talking less. And, you know, putting more thought into the game. And I'm kind of enjoying the weird little multitasking we're doing here. So, like, I'll try my best to, you know, play the game, but also, you know, have a good time shooting the shit. Because, I like doing that. We're gonna try an old strat right here. Is there fucking fire in the water? That makes no sense. Anyway, yeah, here's like an old speedrun trick. I remember back in the day, I say back in the day, but it was probably only like, what, like 5 years ago? Yeah, that's not that long. Yeah, like, whoa, 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 you guys don't want to go back to base. The Smoky Prog is there. He'll kill you. Isn't it cool the Smoky Prog's actually, like, intimidating now? Like, in vanilla Pikmin, it's like this weird super boss, quote-unquote, that, like, you never really feel inclined to interact with because the game doesn't have, like, long-term rewards. So, like, you know, you would never feel incentivized to, like, engage with that kind of challenge. Yeah, I fucked that up. Yeah, this is a classic trick where, like, you know, you throw a guy pretty far, and you try to, like, get him on there before he drowns, because, you know, only the blue Pikmin can swim. Yeah. It's totally not, like, intentional, but it's just, like, magic how this works out, right? Like, you know, they clearly didn't, like, intend for me to do this. I probably won't even be able to, like, get much value out of doing this, but it feels good to, you know, think you're more clever than the game, right? You ever play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? You know, games are all about feeling like you're a genius and, like, outsmarting shit. I'm insane, and I'm gonna assume those two Pikmin are good enough for, like, the task I'm, like, leaving them responsible for. So, like, that's enough of that. Damn, this is just so engaging. These, like, random enemies and shit. Like, the vanilla game is, like, easy. Or, you know, it's not easy. It's the perfect challenge? Yeah, it's my space float. Like, hold on. There's, like, two descriptions, right? The first one and then, like, a second one. Yeah, the first one was just, like, the initial, like, you know, telling me what it is. And then the second one is just, like, you know, further musings on it. I gotta go read these, because I love the Olimar musings. They are very well written. You know, great characterization. You know, Mario, that's gonna be the running joke for this LP, isn't it? Mario would never. Hold on. Just fucking scary motherfuckers with their... Like, they want to eat you. You know, like, enemies in Super Mario, like... I sound like a fucking man-child, right? Like, I'm comparing, like, the game I like to, like, fucking Blue's Clues or something, so that's why it's obviously more interesting, right? But, like, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, fucking, the typical Nintendo game, like, in, like, most games for kids, enemies, they're, like, you know, I don't really, like, feel fear when I look at a Goomba or a Bokoblin. But, like, enemies in Pikmin are just animals. They look at you with these simplistic eyeballs. Like, they're not thinking. They're just, like, hungry. And that's fucking real and, like, terrifying. Because it's like, there's just nothing else going on here besides that thing trying to eat me to, like, continue living. And it's like this... It's this realization moment. Like, whoa. The stakes in this game are crazy, bro. We haven't gotten any ship parts yet, but, like, we're opening doors and, like, getting ready for, like, the future challenges. So, this is gonna be good. I noticed watching some VTuber today. They were playing the Wii version, or it was probably the Switch version, because, you know, all the fucking... Oh, I'm gonna make fun of normies again by saying, like, oh, of course they're playing the Switch version. It's the most, you know, it's the one that's out there. Of course they're gonna play that, like, duh. What's up with the Pikmin? I think he's yeah, that's like a, you know, launch title moment. Fucking, he was holding the bomb there, but he wasn't actually holding the bomb. Yeah, they made the bombs bigger, in the newer versions of the game, which makes sense. I think there's a lot of, like, chagrin that came with these bombs, you know, players would just, like, not know they were holding them, and, like, all their Pikmin would just end up getting, like, bombed or some shit. Really comedic stuff. So, like, them just making them bigger and more noticeable, more easy to, like, pin down, like, when you're just walking around in your squad, it makes a whole lot of sense. I think, in general, they probably touched up the bomb gameplay. Because, like, it's probably, like, the most finicky thing in the game. Like, you have to, like, very carefully disband your guys to, like, not have them accidentally blow up your whole fucking squad. It's bizarre. It's like overly finicky for like how simple it should be. I think it's what caused a lot of us not to really like yellow Pikmin, because like, you know, they're the leading cause of like oops moments like that. Like, oh great, another fucking yellow Pikmin moment like that. It's not too exciting either, you know, it's like, oh wow, they can pick up bombs and they jump high. Whoop-de-fucking-do, I can do that probably. I can't walk through fire like the red Pikmin though. I hear those fucking pitter-patter and I get scared, dude. Like something's coming to get me. Yeah, my clock is indicating. Like, look, fucking all that text there. I love the gall of Pikmin. Like, it is just so willing to put that much text on the screen for something so simple. Like, oh, time's running out. Like, I'm not annoyed by it. I'm just like saying, like, wouldn't a normal game be afraid of like talking to the player too much? I guess not, because like we love explaining ourselves. We love explaining mechanics and stuff. But like, Pikmin's not wasting my whole time about it. Like, I can mash through that text and shit. It's great. I realize that those Pikmin on the fucking bridge duty right now are totally gonna, like, bite it. That's okay. Let's examine the Geiger counter here. Or the Geiger counter, I don't fucking know. You know, the guy who made Aliens or something? I don't fucking know. Every spaceship needs one of these. I don't actually know what it's for, and every once in a while it goes wild. It's so annoying. I should read the manual. Isn't that interesting? Where are they going? Are they going the wrong way? Yeah, they were going the wrong way. What does he say about it on visit 2? This noisy counter is always letting, it can be kind of annoying. Yeah, which is like an interesting thing to think about, because like, yeah, the Geiger counter's fucking annoying. Yeah, the thing that tells you there's like radiation afoot. Yeah, don't worry about that shit. Yeah, those Pikmin over there are fucking dead. I give up on them. Let's spend the time plucking these guys instead. I've locked into my decision. That is final. I'm just swigging my drink as I, you know, let it play out. Like, I've chosen this path. Those 3 guys. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because one of the guys was just, like, standing, you know, or out of the bounds there. So we made more yellow Pikmin than I would ever bother today, because, you know, if, like, on a normal playthrough of Pikmin, I would identify that, like, I don't give a shit about yellows, and not really concern myself with making too many of them, but I didn't really have too much of a choice there. It was either that or, like, I don't know, probably something else, but the Smoky Prog was intimidating. And yeah, whoever you forsake, they get eaten. But unfortunately, they only ever show, like, one or, like, small groups. I would have really liked it if the game actually showed you specifically how many guys you left die, and that you would just get to see all of them get eaten, you know? It would really make you, you know, feel the tense. Because it just kind of feels tacky, like, you know, you know it represents more than one guy, so it's like this weird moment of, like, dissonance when the game is normally pretty, like, immersive. If I could just recover my wait. If I could just recover parts of my radar. Ooh, they're building excitement. Like, ooh, I bet you want to find the radar. Yeah, it's such a simple game, but they really, like, dole out the information. Like you have to read to, like, know how it works. You gotta pay attention to get value in Pikmin. And I guess in something like Super fucking Mario, like, I'm just gonna keep bitching, you don't have to pay attention, because, like, you know, the game's not gonna offer any actual resistance, because you can just keep failing, and it doesn't actually matter. Pikmin has small baby teeth. I like it. Alright, so what dangerous critters await us today? Who's gonna just ruin my lunch? Will there be more Smoky Progs? I've never had a randomizer situation where, like, 2 of them showed up. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, the fucking beetles. I'm old and I've played the game, but my heart still skips a beat when something crazy still happens in Pikmin, because, like, I know the consequences, and I immediately have to identify, like, ooh, I'm being held responsible, and I have to do shit, otherwise bad things will happen, and there will be repercussions. It's crazy, right? Yeah, as if God, I hate these things too. I hate how they have fucking normal ass hands. And they like rub them together like they're like a cartoonish, like greedy businessman. Like all they're doing is grabbing your guys and fucking throwing them in the dirt. Who cares? Yeah, that's a lower priority target. I don't care about that thing. I think that's a 9. Oh, that's 8. I can't. Oh, yeah, it was 9. Okay. Yeah, in a perfect Pikmin world, you'd be able to fucking more easily, like, throw a guy at a thing and they would, like, auto-snap to it. As it is, you know, you kind of have to wait a second. Whatever, you know? I'm really dedicated to just wasting time, trying to get this thing, right? But I'll feel like a gaming god if I do it. So that's why we're doing it. Are we gonna get value out of the yellows? Because, you know, they make this easier to do? I can't believe it. Yeah, I wish there genuinely was more value out of the yellows. As the series went on, they just kind of, like, you know, made them the fucking, like, lock and key bitch for, like, electric hazards. Like, oh, the red Pikmin are immune to fire, so let's make these guys immune to electricity, and therefore that'll be their value. Which is just kind of fucking lame. It would have been more interesting if there were, like some kind of challenges that, like, genuinely made you factor in, like, maybe I want the guys who can, you know, jump higher. You know? Maybe there could be, like, certain enemies that were easier to deal with these guys. Or, you know, these guys could deal with easier, you know? And I guess they kind of have that with, like, the blowing guys in this game, but, like, I'm saying I wanted the games, as they went on, to, like, do more shit like that. Like, more natural incentives to have you use one Pikmin or another. Because we're just, like, making more decisions. More interesting decisions. If I see a yellow door, I'm gonna bring the yellow guys. There's nothing to think about. That is a baby-level decision. We don't want those in our video games. Maybe if you're making Blue's Clues on the Atari 2600, you can get away with that, but we're trying to make art here, right? The decision I'm locking into now is grabbing these bombs over here. These fucking chapped lips ass motherfuckers. They scare me more than any of others. I don't know why. I do know why. It's that disgusting noise they make when they're coming to get you. Yeah, and you really hear them, like, the fucking sound guys for Pikmin were off their shit. Like, they knew how to make guys scary. Like, you just hear them, like, licking their lips, like, I'm gonna get you. Like, it's scary. You know, people look at the Pikmin, and I guess it's like, ooh, cute marketable thing, but, like, they're gonna eat you. Not the Pikmin, but, like, the enemies in Pikmin are going to eat you. It's scary. Obviously, the enemies are random every day, but, like, thinking about that Smoky Prog thing I was, you know, ruminating on earlier, like, wouldn't it be potentially interesting if, like, there was, like, some kind of, like, enemy forecast? Like, you'd click on a level, and it would say something like, oh, there's Bulborbs in the area today, so you'd be like, do I like dealing with Bulborbs? You know, it's just, like, what do we call it? What do we call those, macro or micro decisions? I think that's macro. Micro would be, like, the things I'm doing on a moment-to-moment basis, like this gameplay right now, you know, throwing the guys at the things. I wanted Pikmin games, as they went on, to invite more macro decision-making. But they just kept not doing that. They added a dodge roll to Pikmin 3. Can you believe it? Like, do we play Pikmin for the action game elements? It's intrinsically satisfying to, like, do things, sure. You know, the more good game feel there is, the better. That is a net positive. But, like, for, like, you know, the actual, like, core gameplay, the decision-making, like, that was, like, never really developed as the games went on. In fact, they kept, like, straying further and further away from that shit. It was frustrating, you know? Like, Pikmin 2 is all like, ooh, there's no time limit, so now there's, like, even less stress and, like, decision-making to be made. Because whenever you're, like, caught in a moment where you're like, oh shit, I'm running out of time and I have to do this and that, you can just immediately recognize, oh wait, I can just come back tomorrow. There's, like, There's no actual, like, long-term punishment for me playing badly. Or, like, me failing to, like, learn the rules of the game. So it's like, who cares? And, yeah, who does care? No one. You know? Or I guess a lot of people do. A lot of people like Pikmin 2, but those are probably people who like shit like Super Mario, right? And I just hate Super Mario. He's gonna be like my go-to like punching bag for this fucking series. I'm not actually hating on Mario. I'm just like saying like Mario as like a shorthand example for like that kind of game where like, you know, you don't have to like worry about long-term consequences. You just play it and have intrinsic fun. When I'm pissed because like we had something really interesting here, you know, Pikmin 1, and like we're straying further and further away from that. Which is like, you know, it's becoming a different kind of game from what I originally fell in love with, which, you know, makes me, the Pikmin fan, upset. Because, you know, like, I liked this about the game, and they're catering it to people who, like, didn't care about the game, and it's like, that upsets me. Because, you know, like, you know, I bought the game, or I didn't buy the game, like, my parents bought the game, but, like, I cared about the game, you know, like, early on. I'm an early adopter, and I am not getting rewarded for, like, my commitments. Or, like, not even, like, commitment shit. Like, I don't need them to, like, give me money for playing Pikmin. But you know what I'm trying to say. It's just, it's fucking frustrating. They're not acknowledging my existence. They're, like, making the games for other people for some reason. Almost like they're, like, making the games, and they're like, a company, and they want to make money. That's, like, the, like, evil way to perceive it, right? You could perceive this as like, them just genuinely wanting more people to play the game. So how do we do that? How do we get more people to play Pikmin? Let's do things that, like, more people are accepting of, like, you know, removing or alleviating the time limit and shit like that. Which I don't approve of, but I get it. It's just unfortunate. Because, you know, there's a lot of games that already do that. There's a lot of games that, like, are already fucking made with, you know, we want everyone to play our damn game. Everyone, therefore no one, you know, because, like, everyone will play it. But, like, who will love it? Who will talk about it in, like, fucking forever? I don't know. People still talk about Pikmin 2, right? Like, what am I trying to say? I guess I already did say, you know, it's just like a thing of value, or like unique value. There's just too many games already like that. Like, what's the point? Cool, our first big machine part, and it's the Giger counter. That's unusual, right? Not actually, because, like, you know, besides the radar, it doesn't really matter what parts you get, you know? That's something they could have iterated on as the series went on, you know? Like, maybe, like, on replays, you'd prioritize going after part X, Y, or Z, because, like, you knew it would give you these immediate benefits or something. But, no, not really. I guess the most they do is, like, in Pikmin 2, there's... Jesus. Yeah, in Pikmin 2, you know, you clear the major dungeons, quote-unquote, the stupid mystery dungeon levels, because that's the bulk of the Pikmin gameplay. They looked at the gameplay of Pikmin, and they tried to, like, make it more micro interesting. So, like, we don't want to design, like, 1,000,000 levels. That would take forever, so let's just put the player in randomly generated dungeons. Because Pikmin combat is deep enough to sustain, like, a whole game's worth of that shit. And the joke is that it isn't, or, you know, I say it isn't. Again, a lot of people like Pikmin 2 for some reason, but, like, these are probably the same people who like fucking Vampire Survivors, or just, you know, popcorn. And, like, I don't want to make games for people who just like popcorn. You know, popcorn's good every now and again, but just there's a lot of it out there. Who cares? Oh man, I'm locking into the decision of just letting these guys run past. Yeah, see, and it paid off. I felt the stress there for like 2 seconds before it kind of worked out. Let's abandon these guys and go check on that bridge over there. It's a really smart thing. You know, like, the act of bringing Pikmin back and like them bringing it in. It's like this classic video game thing where like there's setup and then there's release, you know? I could make like a sexual innuendo kind of like joke for this kind of thing, but like you know where I'm going, right? Like fucking, can you make that? Oh, he fucking made that. And because Pikmin's good, you know, the Pikmin just auto-recognize they're on a bridge, and they go to the point of working on it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah, Pikmin bringing the stuff back to the ship. You know, there's all the build-up, like, ooh, it started all the way over here, and it's getting so close, I can almost taste it, you know, like, the victory is almost yours. It's like filling a glass with, like, a delicious beverage, and you almost get to drink it. And then you get that fanfare of the thing going, you know, and it feels good, and it's like, it's good gamer shit. Pikmin is so fucking smart, and it's such an obvious thing, right? Like, duh. Like, fucking video game animations and like walking back, that's not fun. But like, bro, that's just how art goes. Like, people do this brilliant shit so naturally that it's like, you know, people don't even, you do your job well and no one will even notice or like immediately appreciate that it's like brilliant. Just like look at it. But it, you know, I acknowledge it as brilliant. Because, you know, I make video games, smaller games than Pikmin, but I know the struggle. I can appreciate the beauty. Yeah, the space float. Even though it's huge, right? Like, you'd think from a thing of that size, it's for, like, the ship. And not Olimar, but, like, he doesn't say it's for the ship, so, like, I don't fucking know. Either it shrinks, or it's a video game abstract kind of thing. Like, it's bigger for the sake of the gameplay, or maybe don't worry about it, you know? You know, it could be a number of things. It's kind of a shame that the second level takes like so long to open up, or it doesn't take that long, but like, you know, we're in this level and we have to get like how many parts before we're allowed to spruce up the gameplay? No way this is gonna work out. Oh, wow. That guy's dead. Oh, I thought he ate a bomb. Yeah, there's this... Yeah, see? Yeah, there's this great suicide tactic where, like, you can throw Pikmin who you know have a bomb at a guy. You can, like, send them to their fate. You know, let them die. And, like, you know, like, the fucking thing that ate it, like, will take damage because it ate a bomb. And it's, like, such, like, a nice... extra like thing you could factor in if you don't want to like deal with the struggle of like timing throwing a bomb at a guy. You can just do that, and it's so evil, but like it's such like an obvious thing I would want to be able to do just in case, right? It's cool. We love Pikmin, dude. Oh sweet, just in time. A great little thing with these bridges. It doesn't really pay off in the long term, because, like, you never really, like, you know, if you're in a level, you're in it to complete it, you're not gonna, like, usually leave and come back. But, like, there's this thing where, like, those bridges will get, like, destroyed. These little, like, bug dudes will, like, nibble at them. If you're away too long, and, you know, you have to make them again. And it's like another decision thing, like, ooh, I made this bridge, but, like, if I don't get value out of it immediately, I will be punished, and I'll have to waste time again, making it. If the game had more macro decisions, I sure hope I'm using that word right, otherwise this is, like, embarrassing, but, like, again, you know, you know what I'm trying to say. If there were more global decisions to make that, like, incentivized me to, like, you know, maybe make a bridge and then, like, not actually use it. Like, I'll come back and get value out of it later. If I didn't remember the getting value out of it later thing, I'd be punished. As it stands, that possibility doesn't really happen in the game, because, yeah, it's not deep enough for you to, like, naturally really encounter that. Yeah, look at this, like, such elegant tutorialization. We have, like, a nice little picture of like the thing he's talking about, And there were all these buttons and like flavor text, you know, like the light, the colored text. You know, you just imagine a shittier version of Pikmin out there that didn't do any of that. You know, a lot of games are bad at tutorials. I play a lot of JRPGs and they just throw walls of text at you, and it's just information overload, and you don't want to read any of it because like it doesn't actually like invite you to like come at it from like a human angle. Like, holy shit, what is this? But you know, Pikmin, it has words that you can read. I can't believe it. I hear an enemy. The game totally fucking does that on purpose. Like, it zooms in the camera when you're like polling guys, so like the drama of you polling them can be like punctuated, because it's like I'm locked into the decision of like you know, polling the guys, and it's like up to your like player judgment, or like, you know, like I hope there's no enemies around you, because like it would sure be startling if they showed up because you like started polling your guys at like inopportune time. It's cool. You know, drama building in the gameplay. It's, you know, just more elegance. I think we need more guys, because this ship part is like a late game one, I think, and late game ship parts are usually more expensive than the other ones, just because it's later in the game, and I guess they want you to like, you know, be competent enough to have large numbers of Pikmin right now. You know, just more shit the game's asking you to be responsible of. That's not always a good thing, because, you know, sometimes if a ship part takes, you know, too many guys to pick up, that just leads to, like, less invitations to, like, engage with the game outside of doing the one objective. Because, like, in a bad case scenario, a player would walk up to this thing here, the massage machine. I can't wait until it gets installed again. Yeah, Olimar needs this to escape his ship. He's consumed by his capitalism or something like that. You know the narrative of Pikmin. You know, fucking consumerism. You know, it's something like that. You know, he has all these things that he doesn't need, but he's going for them anyway because he's a human and he's attached to things. Crazy, right? I can relate to that. I feel like I was going on to something. Oh yeah, Pikmin 2 has items that take literally your whole inventory of Pikmin to pick up, and there's no gameplay there. You know, they are asking you, the player, to like lock your guys onto this and then just like watch them bring it back. And if you've noticed my gameplay, that is not what I'm doing with my time in Pikmin. I am like, you know, letting the guys do their business, and then I'm doing something else. I'm doing my own business. Because, you know, it's just like more interesting that way. Like doing more things. Micromanaging. That's the name of the game. If you invite less possibilities for that to happen, yeah, we're gonna have a less interesting time here. That's not so bad. We had to get like, what, 4 ship parts to open the next way? Yeah, obviously it's not so bad. You know, the game was designed with that in mind. You know, 4 ship parts are pretty easy to come by in this first area here. I'm just saying, in a hypothetical, like, more interesting version of Pikmin, I would have opened up more areas sooner. Because, you know, it's just more interesting to, like, juggle decisions. Like, ooh, what do I want to do today? I'm given choices, and I have to make them. I like responsibility, because I guess it comes back to that subconscious thing, right? Where, like, responsibility in the real world is, like, scary to deal with, and it's, like, satisfying to, like, overcome it in, like, a safe virtual setting. That's not the only reason it's fun, you know, it's fun because it feels good throwing the guys, and, you know, it's just, you know, there's a lot of things going on here. But, like, on, like, a subconscious level, I think, like, that's part of the reason why games like this are a little bit fun. As well. Like, on top of, you know, the actual gameplay being, you know, really well put together. It's fun things to think about, like why things are fun, the human condition, or whatever. I think for like a minute when I was younger, I was like miffed at this game because I felt like I was being brainwashed into like learning math or something. Like oh man, the game's like I guess I was in like some rebellious youth phase where I was like, Pikmin's trying to teach me school shit, and I hate school shit. Like there's numbers on the pellets, dude. It's a math game. This is a game my mom tricks me into playing. But that is obvious, just utter foolishness. I don't know where my train of thought in thinking something like that came from. And yeah, there's that fucking egg again. Oh, it wiggled. I don't like that. What the hell was that? Why did it spit out a fucking blowhog? Is that... that can't be in the base game, because, like, the base game has no reason to have any other creature come out of this thing. It's so weird. But, like, I'm just imagining, like, you know, the hypothetical, like, these iterated versions of Pikmin that I desire. Like, fucking... Like, having a trap like that would be, like, so interesting. Like, if they, like, expanded on that kind of thing. You know? Like, ooh, there's an egg here that can have a dangerous enemy, but, like, it's in a path that I need to go down, so do I risk it? It could be a fake egg, so, like, I'm gonna go for it. Ooh, it was a fake egg, therefore I'm rewarded for taking the gamble. Oh, this is a great one. Yeah, he bought it because, like, a salesman told him it was extraordinary. And he doesn't know what's extraordinary about it. He was fucking scammed. Olimar's like a normal guy. Fucking jump scare fish. Like, fucking... like, I didn't know he was back there. Yeah, only a true connoisseur can understand. I appreciate how Pikmin is, like, funny in, like, really not in-your-face way. Like, no one's, like, saying, whoa, at the camera or anything like that. Like, Pikmin... Like, Pikmin 3 has characters in it that, like, talk to each other. In Pikmin 1, it's just, like, the one guy, and you really get into his head. And, you know, whether or not he says something funny is for you to identify. There's not, like, funny moments where characters are having banter and shit. Because, you know, a lot of the writing in later Pikmin games is just, like, really, like, kind of milquetoast and not interesting. So when they try to be funny, I just want to, like, shoot myself, right? Like, fucking, like, shut up. Sounded pretty bitter there. Let's elaborate on that. It's kind of like more of that shit where, like, I was talking about yossification of Pikmin earlier. What does that mean? Fucking, you know, as Pikmin games have gone on, right, they've made them, like, more approachable. They've also made them less, like in that hope of making them more approachable, they've taken, like, one of the original, like, appeals of the game that, like, I became enamored with. Like that has gone further and further away. What am I talking about? That element I was talking about of Pikmin, how, like, there's, like, scary enemies and scary consequences and stuff. You know, as the games have gone on, they've become, like, more light-hearted. Which isn't, like, inherently bad, because, you know, Pikmin's, you know, it's not blood and guts. It is a little light-hearted, you know, it looks pretty goofy. But, like, underneath that, there's, like, this, like, layer of, like, actual, like, subtle fear, which I always appreciated. And in later Pikmin games... that fear isn't really treated with, like, respect. Oh, wow, another fucking jump scare. Oh my god. That sounds like they're disrespecting the legacy or some bullshit, but, like, I'm using dramatic language, but I hope you take my meaning in that, like, you know, there's scary things in Pikmin, but, like, characters, like, talk about them in ways that don't, like... make it seem like they're afraid of them. I feel like I need to stop talking and think about what I'm trying to say. I'm not actually thinking about what I'm trying to say. I'm, like, conflicted in that, like, you know, I want to keep playing the game while I'm also doing that. We'll get back to that. Maybe even in, like, the next couple minutes. Because fucking... Like, I know, like, what I'm trying to say. I just have to, like... fucking say it. Oh, I can't interact with that. You have to come back to the fucking blue guys. Oh yeah, this is like the famous, the bomb Pikmin interaction. If you call bomb Pikmin with, like, the fully length whistle, they will drop the bombs. You have to, like... they drop them anyway. Yeah, never mind. If you summon bomb Pikmin, they'll just fucking drop the bomb. You know, that's usually not helpful, like, ever. You know, it's a very funny happening, like, them just dropping the bombs. Like, I appreciate how stupid Pikmin are in this game. Like, they're so disposable, so, like, when something comedic happens and, like, a bunch of them die, like, I know it's not a big deal, but, like, I know a new player is gonna be annoyed at that, but, like, they just need to, like, accept that it's not actually a big deal, and, like, maybe just take the hit. You probably, like, should have been a little more careful anyway, but yeah, the thing with the bomb Pikmin, yeah, that's a little much. It's a good thing Pikmin are disposable, because things like that are easier to shrug off. It is funny watching a bunch of little guys just fucking burn to dust. I think I want to try elaborating on what I was going on again earlier. Okay, so in Pikmin 1, you know, you spend a lot of time with Olimar. You get his reactions to things, like his opinions on the nature of the Pikmin world and stuff. And, you know, he treats the things he's talking about, these enemies and stuff, as, like, you know, real parts of nature that could, like, kill him and shit. He didn't drop the bomb that time. And, like, the later Olimar entries, they even talk about, like, you know, beyond, like, him talking about, like, nature and shit. Like, it's just, like, this really grounded, him talking about his anxieties and stuff, like his fear of, like, never getting back and missing his family. There's a few tangents where he's like, man, the minute I get back home, I'll just have to, like, go back to work and, like, have to deal with my nagging wife and stuff. And, you know, like, maybe it would be easier to just be a Pikmin before he immediately catches himself. And he's like, no, that'd be stupid. I have to get home. And there's just, like, there's like, this really human feeling element to it where, like, it's a goofy cartoon game about, like, aliens and stuff, but, like, there's, like, a human... It feels, like, real? Believable. Maybe not real. What's that old Miyamoto quote? Like, reality in games is not, like, how it looks, it's how it feels. So if it feels genuine, or has things like that, it will feel like reality. You know, like how... like, I think... what brought up this talking point was, like, cutting down the signs in The Legend of Zelda. Like, you being able to cut them at specific angles and stuff feels like reality. So it's, like, immersive, even though you're playing as, like, a gay little fairy boy, right? And in later Pikmin games, like, they're just, like they kind of don't have interesting musings anymore. They just, like, prattle out very explicit video game tutorials and react to things in, like, really, like, standard ways, and, like, it's just, like, not what I found interesting about the series, like, you know, originally. So it's like, you know, they're just not the same thing anymore. It's frustrating, you know? Oh! That's not even scary, but, like, I feel the fear for a moment, because, like, for a second, I'm like, oh god, responsibility. My guys could get killed by the fucking bird creatures. I haven't felt scared like that in a while. That was nice. I'm alive right now playing Pikmin on the Nintendo GameCube. On my computer. Because I'm not playing the Switch version, right? What does the Switch version have that, you know, we don't have in the old GameCube? It has that shit with the bombs, but, like, I know they also added pointer control to the cursor. I guess that's helpful. I don't know, my arms would probably just get tired, like, manually aiming at stuff. I kind of just like, you know, moving the guy around. I think it feels pretty intuitive. Did I finish the tangent? Yeah, I think so. I don't think a lot of people get it, because, like, you know, like, I've ruminated to complete strangers about, like, why I like the Pikmin series, and, like, you know, oh, I don't like Pikmin 3, because, like, you know, they don't get, like, sad, there's no, like, sad musings in the diary entries about, like, you know, the character's home life and shit, and people, like, people, like, you know, I wouldn't even really call them conversations, because it's just, like, random, like, Discord groups and stuff, and, you know, I'm shooting the shit to the wind. Obviously, I'm not going to get, like, a response that I would want, but it's just like, you know, people don't really see that as the appeal of the series, because I guess they've played the newer games where there's just, you know, there is no writing, and it's just, like, not what you expect. So, like, people don't care. And I guess it's also the fact that the writing in Pikmin games has always been, like, you know, subtle. you know, like I was talking earlier, how like, you know, they have all these like Olimar diaries and stuff, and like I haven't had to read like a single one. It's just like I could have like mashed the B button and skipped it. So like I guess a lot of people, they do just skip the, like, hit the B button and skip it, and they don't see the Pikmin narrative that, you know, I've come to love, because like they're just like not paying it any mind. But it is there, and the newer games don't have it. Like, don't have that, like, those elements, which upsets me. I am sad. Because they're not making the baby game for me anymore, and it's, you know, it's very easy to poke holes and make fun of me, right? Because like, oh, it's a fucking stupid Nintendo game, who cares? True. I can't think of any refute to that. I guess 2 guys died today. I don't know where they were. I guess it'd be kind of nice to, you know, on the end of level results screen, maybe they showed you like little X's, like in Breath of the Wild, where like they show you where like Link got killed in like an alternate timeline split, you know? Fucking, you know, if I made Pikmin 2, that would have been a feature I show off. But in the real Pikmin 2, there's like randomly generated dungeons, so like they had no need to implement a feature like that, because like, who cares where your little dude died in like the square cave? It's not like a level. They all vanished overnight. I really always appreciated this nugget. Like, yeah, perhaps that is why they follow me into the atmosphere. Yeah, like, why are the Pikmin so obedient to Olimar? Like, there's many ruminations Olimar has on why. One of them, like, right here, being like, they're just, like, afraid and they'll follow anyone who's, like, seemingly not gonna eat them. It's, like, a fun thing to ponder when, you know, you're, like, in the shower, like, thinking about fucking Nintendo games, you know? It's, you know, it's cute. The longer you play the game, the better the musings get. So, like, it's annoying that, like, you're kind of rewarded for, like, spending longer to play the game. Like, the better you get at the game, the less of the narrative you get. Which, like, I guess if you're a master of the game, you know, you wouldn't want to, like, reread stuff anyway, because you already know it all. And there's no point, like, reading a story over and over and over again, like, so frequently. But, like, it is an interesting little quirk of the game design where, you know, yeah, you care less about the narrative, potentially, the better you get at the game. I wanted to go on a tangent about, like, the whole element of nocturnal creatures in the Pikmin world, but, like, fucking, we're not, like, running around in a level right now, so maybe we'll do that next time, if there's a next time, if I make another Pikmin video. I think I've prattled long enough, and I gotta save some things to talk about next time, so there will be a next time, maybe, you know? I like musing to the wind.